So obviously the main focus on this channel is guns, because we all love guns, most of us do anyway. But what about if you don't want to kill? There's the non-lethal weapons, I suppose they're called less lethal, and that's exactly what we're covering today, is what are these non-lethal weapons that are still out there killing people? So we're just going to have a quick look at, in not per capita or anything, we're just looking at how many people are killed every year by these non-lethal weapons, and at the end we'll talk about the most lethal, and to be fair, it's not what I thought it was going to be. So stick around and let me know if it is what you're expecting. Okay, so let's dive right into it. Starting basically, again, because these numbers are all so rough, we're going to start roughly at the least lethal, non-lethal weapons, and we're going to work up to the most deadly, and again, this is just by the deaths per year. Right, so flashbangs. Now, these are increasingly more and more safe, and the reason is they kept killing people. And so there was, in France, for example, there was a protest in 2014 where a man whose name I'm not going to bother attempting to say, he was 21 and he was in a environmental protest, and a flashbang killed him. So what can you do about flashbangs? I'll tell you what not to do. Don't pick them up. I've seen a lot of videos, and it's usually it's in France, they're always protesting about something. They see a flashbang, they go to kick it, they go to pick it up, and it blows up in their hand. I'm sure we've all seen videos of, kids that find grenades going to throw them, stuff like that. It's a very similar effect to a grenade. It's dialed down, but if it's in your hand, I don't think you'd really be able to tell the difference too much. And a lot of the time when it kills someone, again, it's maybe going off in their hand in front of their face. So next up is water cannons, and I thought this would kill more people than it did. Again, that's probably just because I've seen videos on the internet. So what actually kills people with water hoses, though, isn't necessarily the water itself. You see, that blinds people a lot of the time. It'll blind one eye or blind both eyes. But the deaths, they normally come from being flung down the street and hitting your head on a curb.
Just watch out, this poor guy's about to get knocked down. Bam! There he goes.
They could put the death down to head trauma as opposed to anything to do with the water being flung at them. Means that the numbers are going to be off by a little bit. So what can you do about them? Don't be close to them. Okay, obviously the pressure, the volume as well, it's going to be diluted the further you go out. So next up, again, this is one that people wouldn't think is lethal, but this is why now it's not called non-lethal, it's called less lethal. Pepper spray. So the deaths are considered to be rare by themselves, but instead of thinking about what happens if it hits a young athletic man, thinking more in terms of what happens when it's someone that's already not doing very well. This can be the rather strong and heavy straw that breaks a camel's back. That's the same with a lot of these less lethal. Okay, next up is tear gas, okay, and there are different types of tear gas, and the one that I have personally seen experience with is CS gas. A lot of these, were developed for war, particularly World War One. That was really bad for chemicals and gases and stuff like that. They did start to die down when people would release these gases and it just sink right back into their own trenches. CS gas, though, that's one that I've experienced that in training in a controlled environment, and I'm sure if I started to have medical issues, then I would have been seen to. So one thing that will help with being attacked with CS gas is just keep calm. Just keep your level head. Don't get down into some sort of fetal position or anything like that. The training that I received, stick your arms out, face into the wind, and just try and breathe, try and get it over with. Don't linger around in the gas. Okay, so the next one is what I thought was going to be the most deadly, and that is rubber bullets or just kinetic projectiles in general. There are many projectiles that can be fired through a normal gun. So something like a 12-bore shotgun, for example, that can fire I suppose they call it a beanbag projectile. A lot of the time, though, they'll be through a much larger canister. and it's just to hurt you. It's not there to kill you, it's just to hurt you. But for it to be within that threshold of something that would hurt you, a lot of the time, if it's put in the wrong place on the wrong person, it'll kill someone. It's headshots, you know, shots to the eyes, shots directly to the chest, rupture in the heart. That's what kills people. What I have found out though is that 3% of all injuries caused by these rubber bullets turn out to be fatal, and 3% to me sounds like quite a lot. However, the most deadly non-lethal weapon is the taser. And again, I thought it might be rubber bullets, but no, it's the taser / stun guns. With 50 to 100 people a year killed globally, and that comes from predominantly cardiac arrest, especially with people being shot in the chest. Obviously, if you've got 2 pins, then that's going to be arcing across the heart. That's pretty much you gone. The longer that the taser sticks on you, and the longer that this voltage is going through your body, the more likely you are to be killed by it. So, if you are being tasered, just, I'm not saying give up, but you know, come on. So again, if you enjoyed the video, then that's fantastic. Give it a like, let me know what you want to talk about next. This channel is just everything guns, so for me, this is a video that seemed appropriate. Stick along if that's the sort of thing you like, and yeah, thanks for watching.